Hi everyone, it is Lindsay and this is my channel Rented Space. I am renting a farmhouse in coastal New South Wales with my husband and our 3 teenage children. Today I am going to make some deviled sausages. Now I'm actually making a bit of a large batch, which I normally do anyway, but I'm actually making some for dinner with some frozen sausages that I've already got and some extra sausages that we cooked. And I'm going to cut them up, put them in, and I'm going to make some for dinner for us tonight, but I'm also going to make some dinners in containers to freeze for the RFS. That way, when we get called on fires, if it's, you know, straight after work, we can go out, we can go do our fire, come back, and there's a meal in the freezer at the station that we can heat up and eat so that we're not eating too late. Or if we're out all day, we've got lunch, that kind of thing. So... Alright, so I'm going to whack it in the slow, I'm going to do it in the slow cooker today, that way I can put it in, set it, and I can walk away and leave it, I don't have to worry about it. And I've got all these meals cooked and prepped, and also I can go out still in the yard and get some gardening done. I have a lot of planning that needs doing today, so we're going to get this done, and I will come back later and I'll show you the end result. So let's go. So first thing is, like I said, I've already got some that are pre-cut. Now these are from, whenever I have sausages, I always buy in bulk and I'll cook them all in one go. And then I will always, I try and get them and I cut up any excess and I freeze them so that we can use them on nights where I need a quick meal, or just because that way I've already done the hard work of cooking them. And I hate cooking sausages, so if I'm going to do it in bulk, cook them all up, and then I don't have to worry about it again for a while. Now these ones here are extra good because they were done on the barbecue, and as every Aussie knows, barbecue sausages taste better than frying pan sausages. So I'm just going to get these in. Now this is another reason why I like to cook in bulk. You know, you buy 2, 3, 4 kilos of them, and packets, whether you buy in packets from Coles, Woolworths, or buy them in bags from the butchers, however you're doing. If you buy them in bulk, cook them all up in one go, and then let them cool. So I always put them in the fridge because I find that it's easy to cut them this way. And if you have them on a plate in the fridge, then the excess fat will also kind of drain out of them. And deviled sausages, and I know that some people don't cook their sausages prior with deviled sausages. I just find I get a better tasting sausage, and you get rid of that excess fat and oil. Some people will boil them as well. That's another thing a lot of people do, will boil them, but I really like the flavour of them on a barbecue. So that's how we do it. Okay, so almost done. Now, like I said, this is a lot of sausages, and I know that. So I've also got 3 red onions. I have 4 apples. I've got some mushrooms, and then my garlic. And all right, so that's done. See what I mean by you get this, the fat kind of goes to the bottom of the plate, so it just gets rid of that excess if there's any left. Alright, so I'm going to get some mushrooms. I don't tell the kids I'm throwing in some spinach. They won't know it once it's done. You know, you got to hide that stuff as a parent, don't you? So just some mushrooms. Now I don't need to chop it down too much because honestly it's in the slow cooker all day. It's going to be like 6 to 8 hours of cooking, so it's going to be fine to be a bit bigger. It'll just break down itself. Okay, now that I've got some stuff in there, and I've got my bowl of scraps. Okay, so I'm cheating, and I'm using the jarred garlic purely because when I went to the supermarkets, the garlic wasn't so nice, and I've missed a lot of farmers markets due to the rain. They keep getting cancelled because the rain's just been shocking and everything is completely soaking wet. So 1, 2, 3 cloves of garlic. My opinion, everything is better with garlic. I will do the onion. So I have my bin on one side of me, I have my scrap bowl for the compost on the other side. So just cut that up. Again, I'm not being too pedantic about too small because it will be in slow cooker for all day, but I also don't want it to be too big. I might actually only do 2. I think this one needs to be eaten first. And I'm crying. Almost done now. Okay. So now the apples. Now I do a mixture of green apples and I also do, and there's a bit of a spoon. And I also do my, I do red apples as well. Bit of a bruise on that one. Now I like the flavour difference of the two, but I also like, I find that they give a different texture as well. Okay. There we go. Now I don't peel my apples, they have been washed, but I don't peel them. Now whatever's left over, I just try and get most of the core so I don't waste it. Then I just put the rest of that into the bowl for the compost. just throwing this apple away, aren't I, today? So like I said, I just try and cut the core into little pieces so that it has the breaks down a bit faster in the compost bin. Alrighty, so there we go. So this is my second green apple. Then I'm going to do my reds. Now you do what suits you. And also if you've got your own trees in your own yard, definitely use those. I have citrus trees, and so I've got lemon, orange and mandarin. And I also have a peach that is struggling quite a bit. And I have fig trees, but I do not have any apples, which I would love because I love my apples, but it is, you know, like I said, it's a rented house. If it was my house, I'd probably have about 30, 50, you know, between 30 and 50 fruit trees in my yard, but we all have to make do. So the other thing that I do is I'll often go to the farmers markets and I'll just buy from them. Okay, so again, another little bruise on my apple. And that's what I try and do with my deviled sausages. I try and use up stuff around the house that's close to being used. And I've got a visitor in my kitchen. My lovely daughter, Miss Maya. Yes? What would you like? What? Awesome. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, so when I do deviled sausages or things in the slow cooker, I try and use whatever's left over in the fridge or on the shelf so that I am getting, not apple peel, not seed. So I'm using up whatever's left over so it doesn't go off. So, you know, the bruised apples that no one wants. Carrots that might be a little bit soft or close to being spoilt. It's like when you do smoothies and you use the overripe bananas, and they always taste better. Okay, last apple. I think I'm going to be pushing my boundaries of my slow cooker today. Now, probably shouldn't do what I'm doing and using my knife to scrape the food off. It's not good for your knives. And I know it's not, but I do it because I'm naughty and because I don't have a scraper, but I pull myself up on it sometimes and other times I forget and I just do it. Okay, so that's that in there. Now, diced tomato. Now, if you have your own, canning is not something I've got into. I really want to can. I've just been a bit apprehensive about it, and I don't have a lot of time working full time, but it is something that I want to get into. The problem is though, all the canning videos nearly that I see are American, and everyone says that, you know, you have to do, depends on your altitude and all of that. And so it kind of scares me because I don't see anything for Australia. Although Sally Wise, she does do preserving and canning and things in Australia, but she's in Tasmania. So again, it's a little bit different. But I'm going to take the plunge this year, and I'm actually going to, probably not now because we're in winter, but I might have to, I've got abundance of oranges on my tree at the moment that are just about ready to ripen. So I may even go in and try marmalade as my first canning thing. But then I'll be making a 2-for-1, won't I? Marmalade, kind of a jam thing, and then canning. So I'm not sure. So I've had to go and buy tins. If I had tomatoes on the vine, I could use those as well, but I've just used diced tomatoes. Anyway, anyone watching from Australia, that if you're from Australia and you can you let me know? Is it as scary as I'm thinking? Is it as complex? I don't know. I really want to do it. I've wanted to do it for years and years, but I think too it was something that when we had our property, I was always going, my husband's not really a cook. Well, he's not in the kitchen. If he cooks, it's just to cook to eat. He doesn't really have a love for it. But when we had our property, that was always going to be something that I was going to do. But then I didn't buy anything because obviously we were living in caravans. We didn't have the storage. So now that we're in a house again, and I kind of have the storage, it's also a cost factor. When we lived on the block, we were only paying off the mortgage, which was very, very cheap because it was so cheap for our block. But rent's not cheap, so it's a bit of a cross-up. But rent's not cheap, so it's a bit of a cross-up. Okay, so tin tomatoes are in now. Now I do tomato sauce, barbecue sauce, and Worcestershire sauce, and I also use brown sugar. So I follow a recipe, but I kind of wing it. It's a recipe I've done for years and years, so a bit of salt. Some pepper. Okay, so a little bit of tomato sauce, my refillable squeezy bottle, a little bit of barbecue sauce in my homemade squeezy bottle, some mixed herbs out of my awesome Kmart jars, which again, I've done a video on these jars, so if you're interested in that, check out my other videos, you'll be able to see it. I did a Kmart haul, and then I showed you how I've been using bits and that around my house. Okay, so I'll just get my wooden spoon, hey? Not just useful for smacking bottoms. Alrighty. So I'll just put the lid on now and I'll let that cook. So I will come back and I'll see you later when I am serving up dinner. Bye for now. Hi everyone, it's Lindsay. I just realised while I was editing this video that I hadn't shown you the final outcome. So I served it with mashed potatoes and side of steamed carrots. It is the one meal that I can serve my entire family and they all love it. So thank you very much for joining us today. If you like these videos, please hit the like button. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the notifications button, and that way you'll find out every time I do upload a new video, and share, and that way it'll help me. I'm actually up to 5 subscribers, so I'm pretty excited about that. I know it's 5, but it's better than nothing. So thanks so much and have a great time. Bye.